That's kind of like a rude question, though, because you're, like, implying that I'm weak.
No,
No! No! He did not just call the interviewer rude. This is too much. My heart. I need to take a minute. Welcome back to my channel. Career Savage, aka Kyyah, back with another video. For those of you who are not subscribed, please subscribe. And to all my subscribers, thank you so much. The support is always appreciated. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about interviews. Before I got the job that I have now, a lot of the interviews that I had were over the phone, which wasn't something I was really used to before graduating college. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about phone interviews and a little bit of tips and tricks that I have for succeeding in those. I found this YouTube video online of someone who recorded their Skype interview. So I'm going to be watching it and you all will be hearing my commentary. So let's get started. It's kombucha, okay? I know just because it's Saturday, y'all probably thinking I'm getting lit. No. It's tea. Okay, let's start.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. I'm Frank.
Okay. Alright, Mr. Wilson, thank you for meeting with me on such short notice. But Mark spoke to you a couple days ago and he thought that we'd give you a shot. We are looking for interns for the fall semester, and I'm looking at your resume right now, and it is very impressive. It says you have a GPA of 3.88. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is that weighted or unweighted?
I don't know.
Pause. You probably want to know that. If you're going to put your GPA on your resume, and they ask you if it's weighted or unweighted, in college it's not weighted or unweighted because there's no AP, so I'm assuming that this person is in high school. But if you're gonna put your GPA on your resume for high school students, you should know whether it's unweighted or weighted.
Alright, well, let's just launch into this then. Can you tell me a little bit about what you like to do in your free time?
Mostly just play video games and watch TV shows.
That's it?
He asked him what he likes to do on his free time, and he said that it's mainly watching video games and TV. Sometimes in job interviews, actually, I have been asked what I like to do on my free time, and I don't think they want someone who's super, super boring. So a lot of times I say I like to travel, you know, I like to try new things. These are things that you should generally say when they ask you. Okay, so the interviewer's phone rang. I have never had that happen. I've seen people who have been interviewing me where their phone will ring, but what they do is they ignore the call. So what that tells me is if an interviewer answers their phone, unless it's like a dire emergency, chances are they're not that interested in you.
Alright, Mr. Wilson, can you tell me some of your strengths?
I'm good at math.
You're good at math, right?
Yeah.
Alright, and then the flip side of the coin, what are some of your weaknesses?
Wait, what does that mean?
Y'all, what does it mean that you have weaknesses? When I first started doing job interviews and people would ask me like, oh, what are your weaknesses? I wasn't exactly sure how to answer, because you don't want to say something where it's gonna be an actual weakness for the company. So if you're like, oh, sometimes I'm not organized or I lack time management, but the job you're applying for requires time management and organization, chances are you're not gonna get that job. So for me, my best advice would say you should prepare yourself for what you're going to say for your strengths and weaknesses before you get into an interview. Don't get into the interview all blind, confused, so when they ask you what are your weaknesses, you're like this kid, I'm not sure, or what does that mean? God bless.
What is something that you're trying to work on? Something you're trying to improve?
Well, right now, not really anything.
No, he did not just say that. When you are applying for a job, You know, I need a minute. Basically what that just told me was he is not working on anything and he's not interested in improving upon himself. No matter how perfect someone believes they are, the most successful person in the world, whoever that may be, is constantly working to improve upon themselves. So in an interview, they're not gonna wanna hire someone who's uninterested in trying to improve upon their weaknesses. Lord.
That's kind of like a rude question though, because you're like implying that I'm weak.
No,
No! No! He did not just call the interviewer rude. This is too much. My heart. I need to take a break. I'm sorry. Took a nice little 5-minute, refilled up on some drink. I mean apple cider, because that's all my mom carries. Let's go back.
I didn't mean that at all. This is a very typical interview question. I'm just trying to gauge what you want to improve upon and maybe see how that fits into this internship itself.
Well, right now, I don't need to improve on anything, I don't think. So.
Well, everybody's got to improve on something.
Right.
So, well, I guess I don't like working with customers.
Alright, but I don't see any job experience on your resume. Have you worked with customers in the past?
Bingo.
Well, no.
Okay, so how do you know that you don't like to work with customers if you've never had a job requiring you to work with customers?
But like it's general knowledge, like because a lot of customers are dumb, so
this can't be real.
pretty much.
But
This can't be real.
so you take it personally.
Well, yeah, I guess.
So you're interested in the financial services then. Can you explain to me why exactly you want this internship?
Well, because my uncle, he has this he works there, so it's pretty much.
The reason why you want a job or an interview should never be based on anybody else but you. You should want the job because you feel it's going to make you better. You should want the internship because you believe it'll make you better, or you have something to contribute to the company. You should never say, oh, my family member, like this kid, oh, my uncle works there, so that's the only reason why. You're not going to get it.
I guess it'd be cool to work with him too. And
Okay, what do you want to get at? What do you want to learn?
Exactly.
How do you want to grow
Exactly.
through this internship?
Thank ya.
well, it's a paid internship, right? So I'll get money. That's the main goal.
The interviewer is laughing.
All right.
Yo, he's...
Never heard that before.
Because nobody says that. Nobody says that. You don't talk about money in the first interview. Unless HR, if HR comes in and it's like, oh, we'll put an offer out there. Normally they put out an offer. That's when you start talking about money. But to say that, oh, what you want to get out of the internship or the job is just money, you're not going to get selected. This is why the interview's laughing.
I'm gonna be honest. It's like everybody just wants to make money. So.
All right. Are there any companies in specific you'd like to work for?
This one.
All right.
Just yeah.
Can you tell me why we should agree to hire you for this internship?
I don't think you should.
Because I have connections. Because my uncle works there.
So you think you should get the job based off the strength that your uncle works there? Not even your dad or your mom, but your uncle. Bad answer.
What?
And also, the way he's just coming off in this interview is very aggressive. Saying what and saying that the interviewer is rude. It's just so unprofessional. This is the most unprofessional thing I've ever seen in my life.
How will you yourself contribute to the company?
Good question. And he's laughing. Now, wow.
By working for it, like, isn't that the whole point of like being hired, just so you can help the company?
But how?
Yes. All right.
When answering that question, you want to answer like, what can you bring to the table? How can you brighten up the company? Some people will say their personality, they're very collaborative, they always are thinking of new ideas, which is great. What, in all honesty, do you believe that you can bring to the table to help this company?
All right. Can you tell me what you know about our company?
$1 million question.
I know that like you're like one of the largest banks, so.
Come prepared. For every place I've ever interviewed, I do extensive research on the company, on the CEO, on the VPs, on everybody who serves on the directive boards. When I went to my most recent interview, I knew every degree that every single person had, and I would have conversations with them about how I want to pursue that path eventually. And then it became a whole connection. Like, I became connected with the people I was interviewing with, and they were surprised that I did so much research. You know, it can only help you, so come prepared to answer that question. You need to know about the company. I'm so confused. Like, you need to know about the company.
Pretty much. Like so there's like job security. So.
This boy's a savage, and not in a good way.
Good job to have.
In today's age, there's not a lot of job security in finance.
True.
I mean, anything could happen in the next year.
It's true.
All right.
So I wouldn't say that. But for an intern, I mean, you don't have to worry. Even though it's a paid position, we do typically need interns during the fall semester, so it's not a job that's likely to get cut. So in that, you're right. Yeah, there's job security for interns. Wish I could say the same for the rest of us, but that's not necessarily the case. All right, well, Mr. Wilson, this has been a very interesting interview, but I think I'm going to have to call an end to our little discussion here.
Why is that?
I recommend that maybe you buy a book or consult with somebody that knows a little bit more about interviewing techniques.
Career savage!
Because I think it's something that you should work on
100%.
If you want to secure an internship for the fall semester.
Or a job, not just an internship. Like, if you want to secure anything, you need to not respond to the questions the way he did.
Well, we're going to keep on considering candidates, looking at candidates, and you'll probably receive an email from us in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
I actually have been told that before. Before I worked for Amgen, which is a biotech company in Thousand Oaks, I got a call and I was speaking with the direct manager, so who I would have been reporting to directly. All I had was an over-the-phone interview. Never met her in person, but she hired me after that interview. She was telling me that she was still reviewing other candidates and that, it wasn't a sure thing. But then within 2 weeks, she called me and said that I did get the job. So that's very common.
So I can start working once I come to New York?
We're still looking at candidates, and we'll let you know about whether this position has been filled within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
All right.
All right. That's it. Thank you very much for meeting with me, and have a good day.
You guys, my heart hurts because I've never seen an interview go like that before or heard something so bad, but hopefully that helps somebody. Please go back and watch from start to end. Don't just watch in the middle, because this kid's interview was really something remarkable and he did a lot of horrible things. I know for a fact he did not get that job. Those who watched till the end, he didn't get that job. If you ever have questions about interview tips, visit my website, www.careersavage.com. Check out my Instagram page, continue to watch my videos, schedule your free consultation. Essentially, I am here to help you with all your career-related needs. I really, really, really think those who are interested in getting a little bit more information on how to conduct themselves during an interview, or if you're nervous, I do interview prep sessions. So again, visit my website and I will see you guys during the next video.